Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. All right, and this is Prophecy Watch, where we look at the things that are happening throughout the four corners of the earth, all right, and link them to what was foretold by the prophets in the Holy Scriptures, all right, so that we can bring clarity to the elect of the nation of Israel, all right, who are ultimately going to believe on the words sung by the prophets in the form of the new song, which is the everlasting gospel that is being preached throughout the four corners of the earth, all right, with the internet doing the heavy lifting, all right, so that ultimately this kingdom can be chanted down, all right, through mere speech, the power of word, spoken word, all right, as the Most High himself is the first prophet, all right, through his only begotten son, the word, all right, we now partake of that word, all right, and we have access through his blood, okay, to the understanding of the Holy Scriptures, okay, which would be used as a testimony, if you will, all right. When you read the Scriptures, it will be a testimony against the wicked before the judgment went out, all right, before any judgment is made, even when you go into a court of law, all right, a testimony has to be given, okay, and ultimately the judge will make his judgment. Now, we are those who have been given a testimony, okay, which puts us in a very, very dangerous place, all right, as the Scriptures talks about the two witnesses, you know, out of the mouth of two witnesses or three, shall he that is worthy of being put to death be put to death. And ultimately through this word, all right, America, which is Babylon the Great, along with this beast system, NATO and the EU, will be chanted down, okay, because they are guilty of many crimes. And right now they're in preparation to bring in a new world, okay, which is going to be rooted in merging man with machine, okay, doing away with paper money, all right, and bringing in a digital age, which will be fulfilled in the charagma, which is the M0tB, the mark of the BEAST, okay. We talk about the beast system. Well, that system has a mark, and that was prophesied by our forefather John the Revelator in Revelation, the 13th chapter, which when you read the book of Revelation real quick, let's get Revelation 1. Okay, Revelation, the first chapter, in the first verse, it says, the revelation of Yahweh Shai, all right, which the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, who gave unto him, which the Most High gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified by his angel unto his servant John. All right, so all of the things that are written in the book of Revelation, all right, are things which would shortly come to pass. All right, and from that point till now, many things that are written, you know, in the book of Revelation have happened, but there are things that have not happened yet. Okay, and we're at the tail end of Esau's world, where he, all right, plans, all right, on ultimately setting himself up as a god in the earth, all right, and whatever remnant of people are left over after he does his, after he brings that sword, starting over, all right, with a new digital age. Now, I had here, see here, the bro Ashiar, all right, head of GMS Charlotte, okay, the beloved brother. Right here you see GMS all precepts. Critical moves are being made. They're setting the stage for the M0tB. Make sure you subscribe to this brother's page and be edified, okay? Critical moves are being made. They're setting the stage for the M0tB. Now, every week we bring these things out, and a lot of you say that's all y'all talk about. Well, no, it's not all we talk about, but ultimately this is the final piece, you know, before World War III breaks out, that you should be looking for, Okay, so as these things happen in the planet Earth, the Heavenly Father have set up watchmen. Okay, because before these things come to fruition, we know, pursuant to the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, maybe 50, Jeremiah 51, that these things will be rumors. See? Jeremiah 51. I'll start at 44. And I will punish Baal, all right, all of these wicked philosophies, Satanism, these left-hand things that are taking root in the planet Earth, even the perversion of children. Okay? These things are all tied to idols, which boast themselves up against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? And I will punish Baal and Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he swallowed up, all of these riches. And the nations shall not flow together anymore unto him. All nations really flow, all right, through the beast system, all right, to Babylon the Great, all right, especially, all right, if you want to trade in particular things, you know, the oil, you know, coffee, you know, gold, all right, in particular things of importance, all right, you have to deal with that dollar, okay? And many nations have taken on Esau's democracy, okay, which ultimately always ends in tyranny. It always ends in them getting the short end of a stick. So right now we're witnessing all of the nations turn an evil eye to the West and its wicked policies. But the Heavenly Father is getting ready to make an end to this place. Yea, and the wall of Babylon shall fall. Okay, what's held this thing up is its lies, its witchcraft, its pseudoscience. My people, go ye out of the midst of her and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of Yahweh, all right? And we know before the physical deliverance, we deliver ourselves by repenting, okay? Changing our lives, changing our minds, okay? Putting off the old man and renewing ourselves, putting on the elect, okay? Knowing that this place is absolutely wicked, okay? The things that we see being, you know, normalized, you know, like a man turning himself into a woman, and then going to enter into competition against actual women and beating them, even physical combat sports. That's just one of many, you know, Satan after school programs, genetically modified foods. Okay, we're against these things. The scriptures say that you that love the Lord hate evil, right? So you go out of the midst of her first spiritually, and then we're going to go out of here physically, all right, if we're of that number. Lest your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. Okay? And if you're not hiding in the secret place of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, these rumors, okay, you're going to mock them, you're going to, you know, scoff them. But ultimately, when they start to really come to pass, your heart is going to faint. A rumor shall both come one year when we came onto the internet in 2007, which our apostles and elders had already been out there. All right, but they started to put the videos up on YouTube. The M0tB, digital money, all of these things were rumors. World War III, all of these things were rumors. Civil War, all of these things were rumors. See? But after that, in another year shall come a rumor, and then violence in the land and ruler against ruler. And we're seeing ruler against ruler. We're seeing violence in the land, okay? And the Heavenly Father is bringing judgment, okay? So as the brother brought out, Proverbs 27:12, a prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So the prudent man, okay, let's look up the word prudent in the Hebrew. All right. All right. Rawam, from what I saw. Rawam, there you go. Subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible. All right, and we're walking behind the enemy's lines, so there's a sense of craftiness that you have to have, you know, as you deal here. All right, you have to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You can't go out into this world, all right, and be a complete asshole, okay? But yet you have to still deal with wisdom, okay? Crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent. Let's look up prudent in the regular dictionary and see what it gives us. Okay. Give me 1 second. It has a root word, but let's look what it says in the dictionary. Then we'll get a few articles, a few videos, and, you know, close it out. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow as well with some more news, because there's a lot happening. This devil is pretty much at the end of the road. But as we'll show you here, acting with or showing care and thought for the future. See? And we know where this world is going. Wise, well judged, judicious, all right? Sage, shrewd, okay? So to be prudent is really to operate in the spirit, you see? So let's go back here. It says, a prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished, you see? So a lot of our people are going to be punished because they didn't take heed to what the prophet said. Now, as this brother brought out here, critical moves are being made. They're setting the stage for the M0tB, okay? And this is one of, I believe, his newer pages. I believe a lot of his other pages got cut off because the brother always going in. But let's listen to this. Get a few other points from this video, and then we'll move on. And as you can see here, he has what the M0tB is. When we say M0tB is, M right here, O-T-B. All right, this is what it is. And John the Revelator in Revelation the 13th chapter saw a vision of it being implemented.
The entire country of Cuba woke up, 4 days ago, to all of their bank accounts empty. Everyone in the entire country woke up with no money. So how does that happen?
Y'all, we gotta talk, because yet again they are playing in your faces. Have y'all heard about this? Cubans wake up to find their bank accounts have been empty. Socialism. Fantastic slogans, a terrifying reality. The banking system has collapsed in Cuba. Bank accounts have been emptied and no cash at ATMs.
And it was short-lived, all right, but this is a sign of things to come. And things like this continuously happen, all right. We'll give them the go-ahead to establish a solution, all right, and we're going to show you some of the solutions they have planned. All right, let's also go to this portion of his video here. All right, this is Glenn Beck. Boston's Federal Reserve says it has solved technical challenges of a digital dollar. Okay.
Dollar. It's called Project Hamilton. It's out in the open. The name is significant as Hamilton was the first to advocate for a central bank. Make no mistake, the digital dollar is all about centralization and control. That's why they say in these projects, why they say we can't use blockchain, because we need to be able to see. It's the opposite of what digital currencies like Bitcoin were created for. Keep in mind, Biden's executive order a couple of weeks ago asked the Fed to solve the digital dollar puzzle. But the Fed has already announced they've solved it. You can go to their website and even collaborate on code writing. The entire 35-page white paper is published online. So, what did they come up with? It's exactly what we feared it would be. Blockchain makes Bitcoin a juggernaut in privacy and decentralization.
So there you go. The digital dollar will be the end of the banking system as we know it. And we showed you on one of the latest news and prophecies that on the back of the dollar bill, you know, it's many things hidden, but, you know, basically we have been given permission, or the gods have granted us a nuit conceptus, all right, the conception or the birth, announcing the birth, all right, of a novus ordo seclorum, all right, and that's written in Latin, which Latin was the language of the ancient Western Roman Empire, you see, and we know that this system, America, is the rebirth of Rome, all right, along with the NATO and the EU. See, this is what they've been able to reestablish in the earth, but it's a technological Rome, okay? But this is how they're going to lock you in, all right, to that beast system, all right, and give you that mark, because everything will be tracked, traced, all right, and this will ultimately integrate, all right, you into the system that they want, all right, which is that new world, the modern day Tower of Babel, okay? You won't have any privacy, all right? It will be a digital enslavement, all right? Listen to what he's saying. Let's go back.
Come up with. It's exactly what we feared it would be. Blockchain makes Bitcoin a juggernaut in privacy and decentralization, but the new digital dollar doesn't use blockchain. The Hamilton system, controlled by the Fed, verifies all transactions. There would be a record of everything you spend your money on. Okay. There'd be no privacy. Okay. And the Fed is your banker. There would also be no auditing of what the Fed does with the money. They could generate $10 trillion and give it to Hunter Biden and no one would ever know. Well, there would be a rush on hookers and cocaine, so we might figure that one out. Financial experts are already screaming that this will be the end of the banking system. If you've already tried to decouple from the large banks and gone to local small banks and credit unions, the digital dollar will destroy them. Now, with that said, also the big banks. But who cares? Because the big banks just have fancy names like Bank of America. They're all owned by the Fed. It's one group.
All right, there you go. All right, so we're witnessing everything that the scriptures, all right, prophesied of happened right before our face. All right, because John the Revelator told you what? Okay, that this man, okay, so the end of the old world goes, all right, away with the end of paper money and the bringing in of that digital world that they want to give them more control, okay, is on its way. Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. Okay, and we're seeing many people, put, chips in their right hand, in their hands, period. Okay, and using it for the purpose of purchasing, storing medical records, all right, bringing about peace and safety. I no longer have to worry about a wallet. I no longer have to worry about a credit card, so forth. And in their foreheads now, if you look at what's happening, let me see if I can bring it up. I thought I had it up, but this guy here, okay, is one of many, all right, which, he's not physically going and putting, chips in people's head. He's just basically the face of this corporation, which there's many of them. And this is the new wave. Okay, this is the new wave. This is ultimately where we are in prophecy, where, putting, chips in your brain is a thing. Okay, now they're pushing it for the purpose of healing, right? People who can't see, they can see. People, can surf the internet, with just thinking. These are miracles that the beasts are going to bring about, but we know the end goal. All right, now we know he had one patient, and the chip malfunction, and they're putting this out there. Now there's hundreds of thousands of monkeys and rats, even roaches. I saw that they put these chips on and in, that were ultimately destroyed. How many monkeys were died in the trials of testing these things out on. Okay, many of them. Okay, and we know many humans are as well, and we know what the scriptures say, that is going to lead to a grievous sore, all right, which is going to malfunction and destroy people. All right, but right here he's saying he knew that the chip was likely to malfunction in first human patient. Now we know this isn't really the first human patient, all right, but they have to present these things this way. All right, but I saw another article that I thought I had, where he is ultimately bringing about his second patient. Okay, Elon Musk Neuralink, which there's many other companies, was aware that its brain implant was likely to malfunction in its first human patient, but went ahead with the surgery anyway. All right, according to a new report. Okay. In January, the firm planted its first chip in its first patient, all right, who was paralyzed from the shoulders down, okay, due to a 2016 driving accident. Weeks after the procedure, some of the device's wires pulled away from his brain, the company said last week. Now a report from Reuters claims that Neuralink had known about the issues for years following animal testing. So these devils are just able to use the Heavenly Father's creation to test out, this technology. And in the process, many of them die. Okay. Despite this, they deemed the risk low enough, all right, to for a redesign not to be merited. Okay. The Mail Online reports that Neuralink is testing its implant to give paralyzed patients the ability, all right, to use digital devices by thinking alone. See, and what did John the Revelator see? All right, in Revelation 13 and 14, and he deceiveth them that dwell on our earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So many people are going to be deceived by these miracles. All right. But that was another scripture, was another link that I had. I'll look it up. But now, all right, as we've seen that it malfunctions, the agency told Reuters it would continue to monitor the safety of patients enrolled in Neuralink study. So people are actively getting these things. People are actively putting them in their hands. People are actively putting them in their foreheads. Okay, where Neuralink to continue the trials without redesign, it could face challenges. All right, that should more wires pull out. All right, and tweak to the algorithm proves insufficient. One of the sources said. All right. But redesigning the thread comes with its own risk. Anchoring them in the brain, for example, all right, could result in brain tissue damage. So these things are going to destroy you, okay? And people are going to really fall for this. People are going to do it. Now, there was another article. See if it'll come up here. There you go. Elon Musk Neuralink has been approved to test on a second patient. Okay. So here we go. Elon Musk Neuralink patient demonstrate how brain chips work. So this technology is here. We don't have to go too deep into it. And we know that just because you see the first and second, all right, you really think that this is really the first and second. People know. Okay. And why does the FDA, all right, why are they giving the green light, okay, for this technology? All right, because in the future, all right, it will be mandated, all right, as a way, all right, to HEAL yourself. It will be a form of MEDICINE. Okay. And in another demic breaks out, something that happened in 2020 or anything. All right. A technocracy can be put in place to where these types of things will be mandated. All right. As what we need to do to keep ourselves safe. All right. Some will get it in their hand. All right. Some will get it in their forehead. But we know the goal of this whole thing, all right, is this, okay? Because if they're able to ultimately complete this, all right, this will ultimately make them the creators of a new human being, okay? And they will be God. Transhumanism is a philosophical and intellectual movement that advocates the enhancement of the human condition, all right, by developing and making widely available sophisticated technologies that can greatly enhance longevity, cognition, and well-being. Okay, so this is where we are. Okay. Merging man with machine. Okay. This is where the world that we're living in is going. Okay. So you have to know and understand these are things you're going to have to turn down. All right. As we go deeper into this man's NWO. Okay. So again, going back here, Revelation 13, and let's just get to the point, 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay. Which when we, as you keep reading, the number of his name is associated with 666, which when you go into that, that gives you the code to what he's planning on doing. Okay. Which, chi-psi stigma. Okay. We know stigma is ultimately a branding that you would put on yourself in the ancient time to show your alliance to a particular ruler. Well, you know, back then it was a brand. In today's times, it's we have this, at one point it was a tattoo. At one point it was a brand. Today, all right, it's going to be this. All right. And by you taking this, when they implement this system, all right, that's going to grant you permission. All right. As you have fully bowed your knee to the image of Baal. Okay. And that mark in itself is an idol. You see? And this is how you're going to bow fully, all right, to this man and acknowledge him as your God. These are the times we're coming in. And a lot of people don't look at it like that. But we know buying and selling is how people sustain themselves. All right. So if the money goes digital, all right, that can lure you into this system. Okay. Now, let's go here. Okay. Just looking around the world, Kuwait, mandatory biometric fingerprinting for citizens, residents, and GCC nationals. Okay. So the Ministry of Interior, all right, has extended the deadline to complete the mandatory biometric fingerprinting process, all right, to September 30, 2024. If you're noticing, all right, everything is integrating more and more to you having to put your biometrics. In certain countries, you literally have to give blood. Okay. But when you look up what biometrics is, let's just look it up here. Okay. Goodness gracious, man. Goodness gracious, man. I can't wait till it's all over, man. Damn phones, man. Biometrics are body measurements and calculations related to human characteristics. Biometric authentication is used for computer science and as a form of identification and access control. So you're going to have, all right, your biology, your physical makeup linked to something to have control of a thing. All right. And it will be used to identify yourself. It also is used to identify individuals and groups that are under surveillance. Okay. And it'll be easier for them to track down the bad guys. Okay. And people are going to fight for these systems. All right. Once things really, really get bad, when they bring that sword, when things get crazy, all right, they're going to implement these systems as solutions to the craziness. And we have more. We'll show you. But as you can see here, including citizens of the Gulf Cooperation countries. Okay. Effective March 1st, 2024, Kuwait citizens and residents, yada, 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 must undergo mandatory biometric fingerprinting for the country's central biometric database, all right, within a 3-month time frame ending June 1st. These individuals can use the Shahel app, which is on your phone, okay, to schedule their biometric fingerprinting appointment at a center set up by the Ministry of Interior, or you'll have to go to a particular location, which include locations at the land borders, the Kuwait International Airport, all right, security, all right, directorates and governance and design designated commercial complexes. During a 3-month period, these individuals can continue to leave Kuwait, but must undergo fingerprinting, all right, upon their return. Foreign nationals who do not comply with this new rule will have all transactions suspended with the Ministry of Interior, such as renewing their resident visas or renewing their driver's license. Okay, and these things will be implemented in the States as well. You won't be able to renew your driver's license, okay, without ultimately entering into this digital hub that they're creating. So we see worldwide, Belgium, okay, this is May 15th, 2024. Belgium launches a national digital identity wallet. Okay, this is the modern day Tower of Babel, all right, that is being implemented right before your face. Okay. Belgium has become one of the first countries to launch a digital identity wallet after the publication of the EU's, all right, the European Union, the EU, okay, the regulation setting standards for national electronic identification systems. Okay. So again, this is what John the Revelator saw. Okay. But again, we know buying and selling is how he's going to ultimately, all right, merge everybody into that system, how he's going to force it. Because if you're not able to buy and sell because they've set up a particular system on earth that you have to go through, all right, then it's going to make people lose it. And most people will eventually bow the knee and say, look, I have to do this. Okay. And again, this digital ID will eventually be under your skin so that they can surveil you. The digital identity on mygov.b went live on Tuesday, with Belgium federal government promising that the digital identity will provide a smoother experience with administrative work. All right. See here. And I mean, you can read more on this. I don't want to go. All right. It says eventually this application, let's see here. By 2025, the app will incorporate EIDs and mobile driving licenses. By 2026, the European health insurance card should also be added. Another planned addition is the My Benefits platform, all right, which helps prove the rights to benefit. See, if you want benefits, all right, again, also here, the app will include electronic mailbox for government documents and 683 services. The electronic wallet will also hold identity data, all right, C19, all right, juice records, all right, and this is when we say juice or hot sauce or taco sauce, all right, this is what we're talking about, records, okay, you see it highlighted, birth and marriage certificates, all right, a healthcare card for children below the age of 12 and for adults who do not own an electronic card. Okay. Eventually, this platform will help ensure that people have the necessary documents with them at all times. Okay. And yes, eventually this will go under your skin. We've already showed you all of the videos and the plans that they're talking about, man. Okay. Surveillance going under the skin, man. Okay. And this site is called Biometric Update.com. Man, it gives you a lot of what they're doing. All over the world, we're starting to see everything going digital. Okay. And what led to this was what? A catastrophic event. All right. Such as what happened in 2020, where the world was shut down. All right. When it reopened, things got more digital. Okay. That gave them the go ahead. All right. And the justification to implement more digital services. All right. More digital requirements. Okay. So everywhere you look, all right, if you look at finger vein biometrics from Global ID deployed in Namibia's fight against HIV. Digital ID protection tool backed by Australian bank to send alerts for fraud. See, everywhere we're looking, we see that there's so much fraud. All right. The solution to that fraud can be being protected by a digital ID. Okay. We see it from a mile away. Okay. And we're seeing paper money, all right, be a thing of the past. Okay. China ramps up de-dollarization efforts by dumping record amount of U.S. bonds. Okay. China unloaded a record volume of U.S. bonds in the first quarter, escalating the country's pivot, all right, from dollar, all right, denominated assets. According to U.S. Treasury data cited by Bloomberg, Beijing sold $5.3 billion worth of U.S. Treasury and agency bonds from its stockpile. All right, nations are eventually going to move away from the dollar, but this is a global plan. Okay, because the way the dollar works, ultimately, is not going to be that easy to get around it. Okay, you see the BRICS nations and all these things being set up, but we know the bankers are behind this all. And ultimately, you're seeing less banks. You're seeing less access to cash. Okay, things are going digital, which will give them more control. Okay. And you can look more into that. We're just giving you these articles because this is what it's all coming down to. All right. UN claims, all right, Gil Bates, global digital ID necessary to fight sea change. Okay. And they're blaming overindulgence, people driving, and wiggling around everywhere, cows. They're blaming everything on this whole, all right, warming situation. All right. But really, it's their corporations. All right. And the way that they run the earth, which is destroying the earth. And there's no such thing as this garbage that they're putting out there. This is just going to give them the, this amongst many things is going to give them, all right, the go ahead, all right, to establish what they want to establish, which is to track, trace, limit, all right, ration, okay, and limit what the people can have and how much that they can have by setting up a system to where it's all tracked. Okay, again, we've shown you, we've shown you movies, we've shown you scenarios, all right, even in China, where if your credit score is a particular level, okay, what they can do is restrict you from buying particular things. Okay, they're saying that a global digital ID, okay, will be necessary to fight, all right, the earth from warming up. All right, the UN has renewed its push to force, all right, the Gil Bates digital ID on the world, claiming that digitized identity is crucial to fight against this. Okay. All right. Meaning if we have control over what people buy, what people sell, what people are doing, if we're able to surveil people, all right, then we can limit overconsumption. We can limit people moving about, not being where they shouldn't be. We can limit, all of these various different things that are destroying our earth, and people are going to fall for it. Why is every measure to fight sea change about giving the global rulers and their governments more control? Must be a coincidence. All right. They are demanding worldwide governments follow, all right, the lead of the EU, the beast, okay, part of the beast system, and India, and approve its global ID system, which has inbuilt features designed, okay, all right, to exclude people from participating in society if they do not comply with the agenda. And that's ultimately what the control they want. Okay, this system will give them power to exclude people who speak particular things, who believe in particular things, who have particular talking and viewpoints via AI, to excommunicate them from society. And we always bring it out. Okay. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life to the image of the beast. Okay. The image of the beast being the revival of ancient Rome. The beast, all right, being Esau, Edom, in the form of ancient Rome. That image is its policies, its way of governing, the idols, the holidays, Okay, the alphabet lifestyle that they push. All right, this all goes back to the ancient Greco-Roman way of life. Shopping malls, okay, coliseums, okay, the way that the courthouses and all of the buildings and the infrastructure is set up. They have rebirth, all right, ancient Rome into the earth, okay, via this system that we're witnessing. So he had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and it's speaking right now, okay, and calls as many as would not worship the image of the beast, that they should be what? Killed. Now, we always show you that this word killed, let's get to the point. All right. Apoktano, all right, metaphorically to extinguish, abolish, to kill in any way, all right, but that can be what? Spiritually or literally, okay? The root word, apo, of separation, local separation, all right, from a whole, all right, of any kind of separation from one thing to another by which the union or fellowship of the two is destroyed. Physical, of distance. He saw, all right, the social distancing, all of that. He saw that. John is really literally breaking this down to us. That is of distance. Like you people were distancing themselves away from you if you had a particular talking point, a viewpoint. Families were broken up. But ultimately you were separated from a job, and you will be, all right, from this system, all right, from getting goods, all right, from getting government assistance. You can be separated if you don't partake in particular things involving your body, you see? And as you can see here, this is designed, this digital system will give them that control, okay? First you bow, all right, to their ideologies, their policies, their philosophies, their democracy, and everything else. All right, and then ultimately you're locked into that system through that chip, that charagma. Okay, but this modern day Tower of Babel, okay, will ultimately you'll have to, integrate yourself into, will what? Exclude people from participating in society if they do not comply with, all right, particular agendas. According to the UN, all right, unelected officials that run, or one of many groups of unelected people who run your life, your world, telling you what you're going to do, all right, says that this digital ID will provide numerous benefits for the hundreds of millions of people worldwide who lack the means to establish their identity, okay? And again, all of the world's woes and troubles, all right, the people will call for a system to where we need to know who's who and what's what. Okay? Embracing digitization offers a pathway to bridging this global identity gap with digital identity, legal identity serving. You have to have legal identity now. Okay? The ID cards and driver's license, that won't cut it. Okay? Serving as a cornerstone for digital public infrastructure, all right, fostering interoperability among diverse systems. And forgive me, I'm tired as hell, but I wanted to go ahead and do this lesson. I got to get some rest. Why legal identity is crucial, all right, in tackling the climate crisis. Okay? You got to look that up. Why? All right, because ultimately they're saying overconsumption, cattle, all of these various different things that people demand are what's hurting the earth. All right, so if they can set up a system, all right, that limits you, all right, and tracks everything you do, all right, they'll have more control. All right, that way they can cut off all of these things that are destroying their world, right? It says, and the scriptures talks about this. Let's real quick, we'll get it. Let's see here. Stop. Here we go. The UN claims that digital identity allows displaced people to easily be identified and can play a role in disaster preparedness. Okay? Peace and safety. These IDs store valuable personal information, including residence and medical conditions, which can be crucial during emergencies. So we got to know who has the juice. We got to know who's who. Again, all right, we keep saying it. All right, if it was once a rumor. However, the UN does not mention the fact that digital identity technology will grant the political elite power to freeze people's bank accounts, stop them from buying flights, groceries, basic necessities, and participating in society in any meaningful way. Okay, and again, what does John the Revelator say here in Revelation, the 13th chapter? Okay. You know, after he forces that system, all right, eventually he's going to make you get a mark, all right, that will ultimately dictate how you buy or sell and what you can buy or sell, all right, unless you have that mark. If you ain't got it, you won't be able to, you know, participate in life. Okay, what's life without buying and selling in this current world? Okay, the digital identity is not just a passport you will have on your iPhone, all right, in a digital passport form. It entails just about everything the government would like to know about you. Okay.
The digital identity is not just a passport that you will have on your iPhone in a digital form. It entails just about everything the government would like to know about you. The best way to get to a modern person's heart is to say that it's convenient for them. So yes, you won't have to carry all your different papers and your passports, but the downside of it is, and I hope that people will start to see this, that the government can shut you down. So you know, if you want to buy a burger, red screen, no mark, not for you. That flight, not for you. Oh, but you can just buy it if you have enough money, right? So they're being very open and honest to what their goal is here. So we should take their words seriously and say, hell no. I would say we should cancel these communists immediately and say, get the hell out of my private life. I'm not having you track me and decide what I eat and where I go.
And that's their plan. And they're being very open about it, man. Okay. They're determined to take authoritarianism on a whole level. Okay. Cashless society and digital IDs will be welcomed by the public due to their zero, all right, knowledge tech. They really think we're stupid and they can get away. All right. Boom. Okay. Digital IDs simultaneously rolled out by multiple, all right, WEF infiltrated governments. Okay. The people's voice has warned for years. All right. And so has the apostles and elders before this became a thing, that they are planning to create a digital database to track all citizens across the globe as a part of its Agenda 2030, okay, for humanity. All right. It says, now the digital identification phase of this dystopian plan is being rolled out in almost every, all right, infiltrated nation. And they infiltrate nations. They go, all right, and ultimately, you know, threaten, you know, buy out, all right, these particular leaders to bring them over into their policy and what they want. So worldwide, all right, the majority of the world is on board for this. All right, there's particular nations that are, you know, maybe, you know, like a little leery, but, you know, eventually at the end of the day, they have the power, all right, the monetary means, all right, the media and everything on their side. And this will eventually be the new way. Okay. It says, let's see here. So it's pretty much the same thing that we read in the last article. All right. But we're showing you that many of these countries that have been infiltrated, you know, by these economic hitmen, all right, are bringing their people. A lot of these African countries are bringing their citizens over into this system. Okay. Give me one second here. Let's see here. Digital ID has been passed in Australia. This was their ultimate goal with the C19 15-minute cities coming soon. And you will all see, All right, that what we've been pushing was the truth. All of these camps that bucked up and mocked and talk all this crap. Well, hey, what are they going to say now? Okay. At least 11 U.S. states already allow digital driver's license, such as states such as New Mexico are currently looking to do the same. And eventually this will be the new wave. Yeah, I'm going to be very, very careful with, this. But if you read it, the exact same people who assured you that the juice would be voluntary and were safe and effective are now assuring you that digital ID will be voluntary and won't be used for any sinister purposes by the government. Yeah, right. Eventually, this will be the norm. Okay? This is where it's going, man. Okay? Now, there was another video I wanted to bring up. Okay. Let's see here. Here we go. And see, we're not ignorant of his devices. 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, this is the elder brother, Karatazar, GMS Vegas, sit downs 144K. MasterCard and JP Morgan team up. Now you can pay with face or palm. All right, M0tB bound.
Well, facial recognition checkout is coming to stores and restaurants near you. MasterCard already working on this new way to pay, partnering with a facial ID tech company for pilot programs. JP Morgan has also signed a deal, and fast food chain Steak and Shake currently has facial recognition kiosks in hundreds of its locations. And it comes after Amazon launched its pay by palm technology back in 2020 at their Go stores and in Whole Foods. News Nation's Nancy Liu joins us live from Pasadena. So Nancy, very cool technology, some people would say, but there's also some real privacy concerns.
Well, you won't have any privacy.
There is, but for years, Nicole, Americans have been showing their faces to use Clear at airports, as well as for opening our phones. So payment by facial recognition is not a big stretch for a lot of people. This restaurant in Pasadena behind me, it's among the businesses where you can use face payment. We featured Cali Express here on News Nation earlier this year. It is the world's first fully autonomous restaurant. The ordering process is all by touchscreen for burgers and fries prepared and made by robots. You can customize your order like at many other restaurants, but then among the checkout options is Pop ID, a new system which facilitates payment through facial recognition. Pop ID can also immediately recognize individual customers at other businesses using the biometric technology. Now, it's not just restaurants relying on the value of more face time. The NFL and Verizon have begun testing facial recognition for entry to football games.
I let the system recognize me. It sees me. It shows me my tickets. I select my ticket. I scan it. And it allows me access without ever having to touch a piece of a ticket or a phone or any piece of technology other than just the likeness of my face.
Now with Pop ID, payment is always user controlled, and you can create your account with a selfie, all part of a world that's leaning more into facial recognition. Now Pop ID popped up in Brazil and Asia 2 years ago, and the majority of users have adapted to face payments favorably. Here in the U.S., as you mentioned, Steak and Shake expanding its Face ID payment system to more than 300 locations. So, face up.
Face up. Things continue to change so much. All right. Nancy, thank you.
Right. And this is the power he wants. You put feet Job 13:27, you put my feet in stocks, you examine all my path, you trace all my footprints. This is speaking of what the Most High does. Well, this is what these devils want, all right? And they're going to be able to limit, you know, track, trace, do everything that they want with this, you know, particular system that they set up, you know, and they want to merge. Okay, all you have to do, all right, is just look up the fourth industrial revolution. As you can see, it's a technological hand linking with a physical hand. They're going to merge man with machine. Okay, you just look that up. These are things you want to get, you know, get familiar with. All right, but ultimately the people change. Okay, we always show you this video where he says basically, all right, the people change, our identities change. Okay, let's listen to the man himself.
To such the fourth industrial revolution will impact our lives completely. It will not only change how we communicate, how we produce, how we consume. It will change actually us, our own identity, and of course gives life to such policies and developments like smart traffic, smart government, smart cities. What we will see is that everything will be integrated into an ecosystem driven by big data and driven particularly by close cooperation also of governments with business, civil society. And this revolution will come at a breathtaking speed. It will be like a tsunami. And actually, it's not just a digital revolution, it's digital, of course physical, with nanotechnology, but it's also biological. And those three dimensions provides a particular force to this revolution. So what the World Economic Forum is doing is to promote this public-private cooperation to master the fourth industrial revolution.
Okay, it will be digital, it will be physical, biological. What do you think they mean? Okay. Surveillance under the skin.
Now, for the first time in history, it is becoming feasible to monitor everybody all the time, and not just what we do, but even what we feel. You know, we have been hearing for many years about the rise of this surveillance, but most people still focus on what you can call over-the-skin surveillance. What you do, not what happens inside your body. Like, we already know that corporations and governments can know that you are now watching this show. And they can, if you watch BBC How Talk, they can deduce from that all kinds of things about your political views, about your artistic tastes, even about your personality. But this is still limited. They don't know yet what you're actually feeling as you're watching us. Do you think that I'm talking nonsense? Do you think that I'm correct and you're becoming very afraid? Are you bored and you're looking for the remote control to switch to another channel? They don't know that. But once you have under the skin surveillance, you can know that. Because emotions and feelings are biological phenomena just like fever. The same technology, if you wear a biometric bracelet that constantly monitors your body temperature, your heart rate, your blood pressure, and other biometric data, it can know if you have fever, but it can also know if you're angry, or if you're joyful, or if you're bored. It's all biological phenomena.
Yes, and because this technology makes no real differentiation between the different aspects of what it can read about you, surely if we give up our right to privacy when it comes to our health, we are going to, in the end, give up our privacy when it comes to our thoughts and feelings as well, because they're on the same sort of physiological spectrum to a certain extent.
Not necessarily. I think I don't believe in technological determinism. I think it's very dangerous to believe that technology is deterministic. Once you can do something, it will be done. It doesn't work like this. In the 20th century, people used the same technology to build communist dictatorships and fascist regimes and liberal democracies. They all used trains and electricity and radio, but in different ways. So this new surveillance technology that can go under the skin, it can do good things like improve our healthcare.
So what do you think the devil is talking about? All of these systems we've been showing you and talking about is what they're ultimately going to implement and use this for. And eventually you will have to merge into it. Okay. Now there was one more article. We can just read the title of it. Okay. Let's see here. All right. They're ordering people to arrest citizens who oppose this narrative. Okay. And, you know, them having the ability to track your climate footprint in the earth, all right, will in their, all right, minds and what they're presenting, you know, act as a solution to all of the problems we have, you know, but we know that it's ultimately going to give them control. Okay. So eventually the talking points that we're ultimately pushing to you, all right, will be made illegal, but we'll get more into that in another lesson. Bro, there is no way that my phone is ringing this much. Goodness gracious, bro. I know you say, well, why not turn the ringer off? I don't want to turn the ringer off. I'm doing a video. You turned it off. Goodness gracious, man. Ezekiel 28:2, Son of man, say to the prince of Tyrus, which is now fulfilled in the ruler today, thus saith the Lord, behold, thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as God. Okay, behold, thou art become wiser as Daniel through their technology, which is a mocking. All right, but on the left hand, they have. They've done well for themselves. Okay, there is no secret that they can hide from thee. And this is the system they want, to where they can know every damn thing. Okay, Satan. All right, Santa, he knows when you've been sleeping, he knows when you've been waking, he knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Being good is going to be bowing to Satan. All right. With thy wisdom and thy understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasure. All right, but the Heavenly Father is getting ready to, you know, shut this man down, man. So Lord will, we'll be back with more, man. Shalom.